What up, y'all? It's KP the Sports Chick. I mean, this morning is getting better and better. Not really. But if you haven't heard already, Wake Forest is having like a little bit of a situation because, excuse me, back in early November, there was a situation with, we heard about an investigation going on with Wake Forest, but as we have found out today, the findings of that investigation was that a former Wake Forest player, Tommy Elrod, basically was fired as he's the Wake Forest broadcaster, sports broadcaster, and he's been fired for attempting to leak football game plans to opponents for 3 years. Now, he was a coach, but when Dave Clawson took over in 2014, he was not retained. Elrod wasn't. So what happened was they offered him a position doing broadcasting. He's been doing that ever since. Well, little did we all know that he was so bitter about it that he decided that he wanted to help give information to other teams. Now, what remains to be seen is if these teams actually took the bait, because apparently Louisville, the whole reason this whole investigation even started, or because something smelled fishy, was because Louisville actually left behind information that pertained to Wake Forest about plays that they've never even ran before, that Wake Forest, that is. And, it's kind of like, how would Louisville have this information unless they have like the inside scoop? So somebody took the bait, somebody was aware of this, and it remains to be seen how many teams actually took the bait and, figured out the information. Now, we were talking about Wake Forest here, so Wake Forest isn't like, like Alabama, but it's not any less like bizarre or disrespectful or incomprehensible. It just makes, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Okay, so you were offered. Okay, so it happens all the time in coaching, and another coach takes over, and if they don't like, they usually have their own people. It's kind of like Tom Herman. He's got the head coaching job in Texas, and he's bringing his people, at least one of his people, along with him to Texas. Same thing in basketball all the time. Coaches have their own people. And, if they're not familiar with you, they either take a chance on you or they don't. And that's just how it works. That's the real world. And, maybe he felt lesser than because they wanted him as an announcer rather than a coach. But nonetheless, he had access to the film room, to practices, to conversations. So it's just fascinating that he took all of that and managed to do that for 3 years almost, until somebody who was careless enough to leave information behind after the Louisville game initiated all this. So he obviously violated everybody's trust. He was fired and no longer has access to any of the facilities. He can't even be on the campus. The athletic department and its facilities. That's what we're saying. But it's crazy. And then, like a coward, Elrod deleted his Twitter account. He is not taking questions, and he's declining to comment. So there you go. What do you guys think about it? I want to hear feedback. This is still new information. I'll probably do one more video about this as I hear more about it, because it's fascinating. Because I want to know, because no doubt they're going to go over the teams that played Wake Forest this year and see, I feel like that there will be an investigation. As far how they'll conduct it remains to be seen. So anyway, what do you think? Leave your comments at kpthesportschick.com. I want to know how heinous you believe this to be. And let me know what you think. And as always, you can leave comments on YouTube, or you go to kpthesportschick.com.